Hi and welcome. How do we not argue when in a relationship? This is a challenge, but there are many ways that we can be more conscious of how to choose a partner that we will succeed with, and also in the terms of not arguing but having like a respectful, amazing relationship where communication flows and where it just feels like ease. And we are going to go through some of these today, and I also have my amazing boyfriend Ojas who's going to join us and talk about one specific communication tool that you also can use that has been of value to us, and he introduced me to this technique. Some key points is respect and love, compatibility, having done your own internal work so you don't project your traumas or suppressed emotions towards your partner. So shadow work is the work of that the things that are unconscious to you gets conscious through different processes that you can do, releasing emotions and writing them out, or there's a lot of different ways of doing shadow work, parts work, internal family system, different types of therapies. So the more that we have actually gotten to know ourselves, we're not gonna be acting in ways that are detrimental to ourselves, our partner, and the relationship. But even if we've done this work, there's gonna be some triggers down the line. And how we've been able to not to start arguing or fighting during the almost 2 years that we've been together is because we have these things that I mentioned down. We have the respect, we have the love, we have like incredible compatibility in terms of like values and all the things that we are similar about, and the things that are different about us are contributing to the compatibility. We have done a lot of self-development and shadow work, both during like 10 years that each of us have been doing self-development work. So it's amazing to be together with a really conscious human being. But still, when we have like a trigger of some sort, because that's always going to be the case, then there are amazing ways to deal with that. Some of which are to not talk about the things that trigger you when you're triggered. We take a break if we feel like now things are getting to a point where we are too triggered to talk about something, and having the understanding that we're going to need a little bit of time to become calm again and see where we have needs that we want to express. So instead of going for statements about the other person, we talk about our perspective from an I standpoint and using the word I, like I have the need for, and this is how I'm experiencing it, and talking about the vulnerable aspect instead of getting angry and lashing out on the other person. So this is also the giraffe or the nonviolent communication that you can learn more about and will be a great benefit. But now we are gonna have Ojas come into this video and talk about inquiry, which has been an amazing tool for us in our relationship.
Yes, absolutely. So communication is can be a big challenge, but it is great to have some tools, because then it's much easier to deal with when you are triggered and there's emotions coming up. So inquiry is a very specific technique of communication where you have some questions, you sit down, you look each other into the eyes, and then you ask, for example, how do you feel right now? And then the one that is asking is just sitting there, listening and looking at the other person, and that person is just answering from that question.
And it's really nice as well to have that, the feeling of connection. And many times it's like the reason why we get triggered or angry, in my experience, is when we don't feel heard. That's why it escalates to be heard, you know? So actually sitting down and having the space to be heard and to talk uninterrupted and being able to explain yourself in this way is like, it calms things down just from the framework.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really great, and you can ask whatever question. It's also nice that you, for example, meet once in a while, and then you put down some questions that you want to look into. If there is some theme coming up in the relationship, it can be boundaries, it can be anything, and then you can find some questions. How do I experience boundary? And then you have like 2 minutes, and you just ask and you listen to the other person. It's also very introspective, and it helps for the person talking to look inside himself or herself.
Okay, here's an example of how it might look.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
It feels exciting to stand here and talk, and I get present, and also like a little bit nervous, a little bit feeling of that I have to perform because there is a camera, but also I feel like a safe space where I can allow myself to be myself. I can feel alive. Also like a little bit nervousness in the chest, and it's great just to stand here and that I can be seen and I can feel my body and emotions at the same time, and that is a calming effect.
What do you need?
Right now it's just nice to be seen. I just need to feel safe and to feel confident that I'm okay and accepting myself as I am and being accepted as I am. Right now I just need to say thank you. And, yeah.
Okay, so that was from this moment's experience, which is always the case with inquiry. And what do you think about having an example where we also show how it would be to be triggered?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you're triggered, it's very easy to get into this. You analyze, or you have some opinion, or you have some judgments about what is happening. So that it's very valuable to just say what is happening right now in the body and the feelings. So you go from the judging to just observing and saying what is there. So, yeah.
But I mean, since I'm an analytical person, I also do analyze when I do this process, because that's something that also happens naturally for me. But it feels like I try to do the analyzing from also this body perspective, where I'm feeling my feelings as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you now were triggered, and I ask the same question, like, how do you feel?
Yeah. I can feel anger, I feel disappointment and hurt. Yeah, I want to walk away from here. I don't want to look at you. I can feel it boiling inside. I don't know what to say. I feel a bit lost.
Yeah. Thank you. And what do you need?
I need you to look at my perspective and to be acknowledged that I feel hurt and that we can meet each other from a space of acknowledging each other. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then we would switch. And it's such an amazing method. And of course you can find your own ways of doing that, and you can also ask the question again when it feels naturally, because then the person also can get deeper into it, which is an option. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Do you have anything more that you would like to add to why you think we haven't been arguing?
Yeah.
And for tips for the audience?
Yeah, and I guess also if you're really triggered, it can be difficult just to talk like that also, because suddenly maybe you start blaming and then you're into it again. So it might be also useful just that one person goes to his own space and then releasing the tensions and the anger and the trigger, and then after a while you can come back and see if there is possible to communicate. So just is that you are responsible for your feelings and not just dump it on another person. That you really take care and look, is there something deeper that is hurt here? Is there some wounds that is triggered? Because it's not easy to see it, but it might be the case.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that were some of the tools that we've used in our relationship, and it's been amazing to have like a partner that is willing to do this type of work and where the communication is like it is. Thank you so much. So yeah, I hope this video was valuable to you in some shape or form, and that you can take these tips and tools with you and research more, or be in contact with me if you want any type of support or coaching. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. And so today we talked about respect, love, compatibility, having done shadow work and knowing yourself, knowing your triggers and how to deal with them, and giving yourself and your partner space, time and calmness around talking together about things that you find vulnerable or triggering, and doing a process like inquiry to help the communication. There's so many amazing tools out there, and these are some of the reasons why we have managed to keep our relationship argue-free, fight-free. I hope that you can too. I wish you all the best of luck in your relations and relationship. Yeah. And I wish you an amazing time until we see each other again in the next video or so. Bye!
Wish you all a great evening and a good life. See you again soon. Swing it to the bing, take it to the max. Don't stop until you get enough, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's go!